Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today we're taking a look at a pretty nice looking watch. This is the Buford Aerotimer, which is currently live on a Kickstarter right now and is actually funded already. And it's a really neat watch with a nice pastel dial and a rose gold plated stainless steel case. Now this brand is based in New Zealand. This watch exactly is based off a World War II era design. Specifically the Bristol Buford, which is a World War II torpedo bomber, mainly operated by the British and Australian and New Zealand Air Forces. Now the early birds start at about $346 US, and I think that's a pretty good price considering the quality. And I was really impressed by this watch, and I'm being 100% sincere here. This watch has a lot going on and the quality is very good. Now there are a couple changes which I will mention right now. First of all, the boxes will be different. Second of all, there is a noted alignment issue at the 1 o'clock index, as you can see. That will be fixed on all of the production models. Also, the loom will be BGW9, which glows blue. So the loom on this watch prototype right here is different. Just wanted to let you know that. Let's see what I'm wearing today. Today I'm actually wearing the 18038 day date President watch. And as you can see, it's quite a flashy watch there with that nice 18 karat gold polished center links you can see right now. And this is the 36mm version, of course. 18038 only came in 36. And a great watch. I've been getting a lot of use out of this watch. But you got to be careful with these because if you're a little bit too rough with them, you can kind of mess up the metal. It's very easy to scratch. But mine looks pretty good. Now, the Buford comes in many different dial variations as well. This is just the pastel and probably my favorite. Although I'd probably prefer the stainless steel case. The rose gold case actually looks pretty nice. It's definitely a bit blingy and will attract attention, I have noticed. I've been wearing this one for about 3 days now. To get into some basic specifications, we're looking at a standard 40mm diameter case here, which is pretty nice. We're looking at a thickness of 11.5mm, that's including the crystal. We're looking at a lug-to-lug distance of 48.5 on these nice, long, thin lugs here. Now the case, like I stated, is rose gold plated, but it is solid 316L stainless steel. It is brushed on these sides with chamfered polished edges on top of the lugs, a highly polished smooth bezel, and everything looks pretty good. The finishing is very good. You can see we have a signed B for Buford on the crown there. This watch is actually water resistant to 100 meters, and I was really surprised by that because that's really something I look for when I'm looking for a watch of this style. Now the 100 meters helps you go in the water with it, you can go swimming with it, you can go in the shower with it, although I wouldn't really recommend showering as it can kind of loosen up the greases and stuff. And yeah, it's all around, a very durable watch as well. Now, like I was stating, this does have a California dial. This is the pastel. There is a white dial version as well, which really caught my eye. But I think this pastel kind of light blue color is really cool, especially with the California dial. Now, if you don't know what a California dial is, they're actually first created by Panerai for the Italian Navy in 1936. And it's basically, you have the Roman numerals at the top, and then you have numerals at the bottom. And I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely unique. It's definitely different. And I think it looks good, especially on the Aerotimer. Now, getting a little closer on this dial here, you can see we have long sword loomed hands. We have a sweeping seconds hand here, a date aperture above the 6 o'clock position. Applied markers going all around. All of these are applied, and they do have some nice depth to them, as you can see here. They're pretty tall. I do like that. Now, the crystal itself is a single domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside, which really helps with legibility. Something the Hamilton Khaki field needs. If you own that watch, you know what I'm talking about. The reflection on that watch is pretty insane. Now, if I didn't mention, we do have 22mm lugs, which is pretty standard, 20 or 22, for a 40mm case. Now, powering this bad boy is the Sellita SW200-1. It's a Swiss-made automatic movement. Most of you are probably familiar with this movement as 26 joules, 38 hours of power reserve. And it hacks and it hand winds. It's basically an ETA 2824, basically identical to the ETA 2824, I should say. And I think it's a pretty good value, for the price point on the Kickstarter early birds. I think it's a pretty good value. The quality is definitely really good on this watch, and I really do like this watch. And I'm being 100% honest here. Now the crown is located over here at the typical 3 o'clock position. You can see that nice B sign for Buford. It's a pull and push crown. There are 3 positions. First position, obviously, you can just wind it. Then you can pull out and set the date, and then you can set the time. Now I'm going to show you a little glimpse of the movement because we have a sapphire case back as well on this watch, which displays the Sellita SW200. And there is the Sellita SW200 in all its pride and glory. You can see the case back is held down by real screws. It also features an outer polished ring, and you can get a really good glimpse of the movement. Pretty stock Sellita SW200, but these are very good, reliable movements. I've had tons of watches with this movement. They basically operate the same as an ETA 2824. You have some basic specifications printed around the inner ring, and it's all pretty simple. But I like that they put an exhibition case back. If it's a Swiss automatic movement, I like an exhibition case back. Now to actually operate this watch here, as you can see, you can wind the watch, which is pretty smooth and easy to use this crown here. There's some good grip on here. In the first position, then you can pop it one position, and we can flick through the date here. Everything fits perfectly. The date kind of stays out of the way with that white window, but you can read it. And then your final position is your hacking position. We can set the time here. Now BEAUFORT Aerotimer is printed very neatly below the 12 o'clock position. If you didn't notice as well, there is a railroad track going around the outer portion of the dial, which is pretty traditional and classical. Even seen on, old Hamilton watches, they were pretty famous for that as well. So, when you're setting your time, you can reference to this if you need to. Anyway, heading to the strap here, we have a genuine Italian leather strap with some end stitching here. It's pretty comfortable. It also does feature quick release, which is nice. Pretty much every watch is coming with a quick release now. Buford over here. Now the buckle itself is one of these self-adjustable ones. So obviously this is in rose gold, just as the case is. You have two buttons here, which are not cheap and, shaky. They're actually pretty sturdy here. So I wouldn't worry about that. It clamps down, and then you have a signed Buford little clasp here. I'm going to go ahead and attach the strap. And there she is looking down at my 6.5-inch wrist. Very kind of flashy, this watch, with the rose gold plating there. But if you don't want that, you can just get the stainless steel model. But this watch really does kind of stand out. It does plant nicely on the wrist, as you can see there. The strap itself, straight out of the box, this prototype was pretty new. And it's pretty much broken in already, so you don't really have to break in the strap. That's pretty nice. There's the Buford clasp there. This is how it looks on a 6.5-inch wrist, which I think is very suitable, very doable, and a good size. I like this size, it's the perfect size, and everything looks pretty nice. So that is the Buford Aerotimer. I think it's a really nice watch. Everything is very neat, in place. I like the design. Everything fits together. It doesn't look like it was combined with like 3,000 different parts of a watch, which some other micro brands look like. It looks like a real watch manufactured by a real company, and that's something I really look for, especially when taking a look at new watches being offered on Kickstarter. Nonetheless, I really don't have any issues with it. It fits nice on my wrist. There are no issues with the finishing. It has 100 meters of water resistance. That's a big thing for me. I hate watches with 50 meters of water resistance. I don't hate them, but it's just not as usable for me, if you know what I mean. I think this watch really has it all going on. We have the nice Sellita SW200. And it's under $400 US. And hey, I think it's a great value. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below as usual. I hope to see you guys in the next video. We will go out with a nice loom shot here, which it's pretty bright. I like the loom, just so you can get a look at it, even though the loom will be changed to BGW9. I hope to see you guys in the near future. Thanks for tuning in once again. This is Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. I will see you guys real soon. Bye.